and welcome to another edition of Seaman Viking Television for Thursday, October 26th. I'm Jordan Boyd. Today we'll be giving you an update on the building construction, providing an insight into why some students are more motivated than others, and we'll reveal our first student spotlight. To start us off, here's Emily Blodgett with this week's construction update on the new freshman edition.
The comfortably familiar halls of Seaman will soon be changing, and construction has already begun. The idea for the freshman edition was originally proposed a year ago with lots of controversy.
I think the construction of the new freshman academy is a bad idea because I think it disrupts our class time right now. I think the fact that there's going to be jackhammers and big bulldozers and stuff happening outside is going to affect the fact that we have open classrooms, and it's going to affect our learning environment as it is. Also, I've noticed that nobody has been watching the new entrance from where parents are supposed to drop off kids when they come back from dentist appointments and stuff. Nobody's there to watch and make sure that criminals aren't coming into our school and disrupting our learning environment once again.
After many votes, the bond was passed and construction went underway. However, there is some concern that the noise from the construction may start to interfere with our daily routine here at Seaman.
Well, one concern we have will be noise level, because there is going to be a lot of activity outside our building and very close to our building, not only on the west side of the school and also where the auditorium is going to be built, but also on the extreme northeast area where the industrial tech expansion will take place. Those areas will have a lot of noise and a lot of challenges. We're also moving the annex where we teach our basic drafting class to the north parking lot area right by the science wing. So that's going to be another challenge that we'll have to bear with.
The construction is to be completed at the beginning of the year in August 2008. So, this new addition, friend or foe, will be changing the face of Seaman forever.
Thanks for the update, Emily. As you know, students' grades and future plans can vary greatly from one another. What makes one student strive so hard to succeed while another just doesn't seem to care? This story is coming up next. But first, here's a public service announcement reminding students why they should keep a close eye on their belongings. Remember to never leave anything of value within reach of greedy high schoolers. Focusing on how A honor roll students stay driven and focused to achieve success, here's the first of a two-part story. We all know at least one of them. They'll stay up to ungodly hours studying for the test that they could probably already ace. They work on projects before the night before they're due. Late homework is almost non-existent with these people, and above all else, they maintain an impeccable A average. What motivates this 10.1% of Seaman High School students?
My parents, probably, because if I don't do good in school, then I get grounded and I can't hang out with my friends or Crystal Terrell.
I think for some students it's easy. If they are doing well in the class, then it's easy to keep them motivated because they want to continue to do well.
Well, I feel like there's different things that motivate students. I think some students just want to succeed. They want to they want to succeed, they want to do well. Something about inside of them, it makes them feel good.
What do these students want to be when they grow up that makes it so important for them to succeed in school?
After high school, I plan on attending college. I'm not for sure which one yet, and becoming a veterinarian or veterinary research.
After high school, I want to go to college and get a degree in either education or some kind of medical field.
Kind of just still deciding between either something in architecture or journalism.
This has been Jordan Boyd reporting for Seaman Viking Television. Now you will see this story from a new perspective, as Abby Hirsch presents the same story on the other side, the side of the not-so-motivated.
Many students succeed highly in school, scoring A's and B's in their classes, going through their high school years without a single discipline point, and moving on with a diploma and acceptance into a prestigious college. Others, however, are content with simply passing, or not passing at all, the idea of college never crossing their minds. What makes one student strive so hard to succeed, while another is content to fail? I spoke with counselor Patty Moss to gain her insight on this question.
The motivation is instilled by the family, and so the work ethic comes from the family, and so if a family doesn't have a work ethic, then there's going to be less motivation coming from the student. And if the parents show that mediocre is fine, then that's what the students are going to display, is mediocrity.
I mean, I want to do well, but kind of lazy. So I guess that presents a problem. No matter what they do, I'm probably just gonna find something else better to do than my work.
So how can motivation be instilled upon a student?
There's never been any research on how you can instill motivation. Like if I could sell it in a bottle, I would be rich. But you can't, that has to come from within the student, the whole motivation, from within human beings. And if you don't have an example of that growing up, or, if you have the attitude that people have today as, what do you owe me, instead of what can I do for you, or how can I help, how can I become a better person. But today's attitude is more like, what are you going to do for me? I failed this test, so what are you going to do for me? The society as a whole, we have changed our thinking when it comes to things like that. Even like if something goes wrong, I'm going to sue that person. How often do you, or today's mentality, it seems like at Seaman High School, it's, well, if I don't like what they say, I'm going to beat them up. I mean, that type of stuff just does not get anywhere, and we as a whole entire community need to figure out a way to get that changed around to where instead of enabling students, we need to be able to empower students, and we also need to empower teachers, and we also need to empower parents, instead of, being constant enablers and getting people out of situations because, of who they are or whatever. It's very frustrating.
For Seaman Viking Television, this is Abby Hirsch reporting.
Thanks, Abby. Next, we'll present our very first Student Spotlight. That's coming up right after this important message. Make sure to be safe when you're behind the wheel. Now it's time for the Student Spotlight, a special presentation for one Seaman student randomly chosen, which sheds light on who that person is and what makes them unique. Casey Hughes interviewed this week's nominee, Audrey Combs, to learn a little more about what makes her tick.
As a Cancer, senior Audrey Combs is strong-willed, persistent, and moody, yet her own unique style is what fuels her and keeps her active in school.
I'm very active in French Club right now, and let's see, I'm also on Seaman Lip Mag, which is the literary magazine. I edit a little bit, and I'm on the PR committee.
Audrey still finds time for fun and games.
I have a bad habit of, I like to play tag in the hallways. Like, I like to go up to people that I kind of sort of know and just yell, "Tag, you're it," and run. It's very rare that I actually have someone tag me back.
And even a little acting.
I'm in advanced acting right now, which is a class, and every year we're supposed to have a little production, a little thing to showcase what we've learned this year.
The hardest part about high school are the labels students give you, but staying true to herself is a tendency she keeps in hand.
I guess I'm not as weird as everyone thinks I am.
If she could leave a piece of advice to the younger students, it would be...
Just sort of feels like everything has some sort of impact on you. Whether it's just like a teeny tiny little bit of an impact or, a huge dent.
Misunderstood, unique, and a bold sense of humor, Audrey Combs stands in the limelight, for everyone has a story.
Thanks for watching Seaman Viking Television. I'm Jordan Boyd reporting. Be sure to tune in next week for an all-new episode. Good night.